Thank you for tuning in to the Patricia Show. My name is Patricia. I want to talk a little bit today about affirmations. I have a friend that's starting a home care agency, and he wasn't doing, that good as far as the business of getting customers. So I was telling him that he could do affirmations that would bring him success, because I've always done it. It always has brought me success. I don't know if it's just men don't like to do those affirmations or people, period. I think men that I have told tend to like kind of frown on it a little bit more than women, but that's not saying all men don't like it. So he never did do the affirmations. Then recently I was talking to him again, and I said to him, God is within you, because I know he believes in God. I said, hey, sit down, focus yourself within, and just say what you want. He seemed to be more receptive to that, even though he still didn't do it. So that's what I want to talk about, affirmations today. If you don't want to go, let's do some examples. Like, for instance, if you want to be a millionaire. If you don't want to keep repeating, I'm going to be a millionaire, I am a millionaire, 15 minutes a day, 3 times a day, focusing in your heart center, that's one way you could do it. But the other way you could do it, if you truly believe that there is a power within you, that God power is within you, then why don't you sit down and communicate with it? Now, you can sit down and say, but it still has to be in a statement, more of a question. In other words, you're not going to say, God, make me a millionaire. You would still say, I am a millionaire. You know what I mean? You would put it in a positive statement. You could just sit down and focus. You're still going to focus yourself within, but you can speak it, like, I know that I am a millionaire. I am confident that I am becoming a millionaire each and every day. Stating it like that, but you're still focusing inside. Now, that's one way. And then the other way could be that you're focusing on your heart center inside, and you're repeating, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, for 5 minutes 3 times a day. Or you can write a letter to yourself, just a short statement about you becoming a millionaire. You are a millionaire. I always say it in the present tense. And then read that letter to yourself 3 times a day. It's still going to be the exact same thing. Because if you have to do repetition, that is so important. Before that power within you grasp it and really start working with it, it's either, I'm going to tell you how it starts. If you say it with intense feeling, then you could say it one time and it'll go and produce it for you, and that's it. But most of us don't know how to use our feelings like that, to say it so intensely that it will just go and complete the work, okay? So usually you have to say it repetitively before it begins to actually go and bring it about to work. Because our mind flip-flops so much back and forth. You're thinking about wealth, you're thinking about lack, you're thinking about limitations. That power within you gets confused. Doesn't know what the hell you want, because you go back and forth. So if you keep your mind on that, what you're asking for, and then focus on that repetitively, repeating it a lot, you'll get it quickly. So I don't really know what the problem is that people, poor people, I want to say, specifically, don't like to do affirmations. When people are rich, not the ones that are generational wealth, but people just starting off their wealth. Though I've read so many people, you would be surprised if I would even name some of them, that have used that to become rich. people who are on YouTube, I think his name is Grant Cardone. I was looking, the real estate investor. I was looking through, or he's not an investor, I'm sorry, he's a real estate, he buys real estate. Oh, well, yeah, he's a real estate investor. Anyway, I was looking through one of his videos, old video, and in the video, he had just started saying, I am a millionaire, and he was saying, he was going to see if it was going to work and how he repeated it daily, and he did become a millionaire. So then in that video, he was saying that, I think it was another video, he was saying that since that video worked, he was going to say he was a billionaire and see if that worked. But when I was listening to the video, he was already a billionaire. So clearly he had did it, and clearly it had worked. So that's why I want to say it's not all men that does that don't want to say affirmations. It's just some. But people who do become rich, like poor people who end up becoming rich, or middle class people who end up becoming rich, they are using affirmations to do that. Generational wealth is not, because they're born into this wealth. You are not going to be wealthy unless you put some type of action behind it, like telling the universe what you want to accomplish and making that happen. That is, when society or whoever controls this earth, they say that 1% of some rich people do, but whoever, they really mess people up when they have you programmed to be an employer, when they lie to you about religious and take the power away from you to make you feel like you're powerless, that you have no control over your life. That is how you go through your life. You don't stand up and know that you have power over your life. And whatever you want to happen, it can happen. Because you automatically, from childhood, we are raised to think that we are powerless. That it's the preacher that can only communicate with God. That you can't communicate with God. That God put you in a poor family, so that's where you're supposed to be and that's where you're supposed to stay. That is not true. You are placed on situations in this life, when you first come to this life, maybe you have a karma, which is nothing but a lesson that you need to learn. And when you learn that lesson, you're supposed to expand and grow. And so you can't expand and grow if you're going to be in the same situation all of your life. So for instance, if you were placed in a poor family and you have the strong desire to become rich, that's probably maybe a goal that you had already set for yourself prior to coming to this earth, that you were going to overcome your karmas and then you were going to make yourself rich. I have a friend that told me she would love to have more money, but if God wanted her to have it, he would have gave it to her. So she has that belief that, she was placed in a poor family, so this is where she's supposed to be. You're not supposed to stay at one level. I don't care where you're at. You're supposed to grow and expand. And it doesn't just go for money. I talk about money a lot because I know that's what you all need. You come into my show so that you can advance yourself financially, because that's what I do, help you grow financially. But I'm not just talking about money. You are meant to grow and expand in every area of your life. Every area of your life. So if you're not a spiritual person or don't believe, I call it a seeker of truth. If you just sit down and believe everything the preacher tells you and you never research anything for yourself to find out the truth for yourself, to grow in that situation would be to step out on faith and start trusting and believing that God is within you. And when you ask him a question about something, he will reveal that answer to you. The answer is not just revealed to the preacher. That would be expanding and growing in that situation. If you're a person who, let's say you're a person who when you date men that are controlling, or men that, we'll just say controlling. there's something in you that's controlling if you wouldn't have attracted that type of man in the first place. So then when you grow and learn not to be controlling, you will stop attracting controlling men to you or women. And so what did you do? You growed and you expanded one of your personal traits by not being so controlling. So every area of your life, you are here to grow and expand yourself. And it's not just going to happen with you just being here and going through life. You have to literally do something to make it change, grow, and expand. So what the affirmations is for is to help you do that. Because I don't even know who even named it affirmations, but it's really, you could say affirmations or you could just communicate with that power within you and just tell that power what it is, affirm what you are quietly to yourself 3 times a day, or you could do it in the form of affirmations. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is if you don't do nothing, you're not going to ever change in the area that you're seeking to change in. You have to do something in order to change. Excuse me, I just don't know why that is so hard for people to understand. I don't think that it's not that people don't understand. I think that sometimes people get lazy and you get in a situation and you just repeat whatever it is you're doing because you don't have to put any work towards it. You don't have to do anything. So you just stay in the whatever you're doing. In order to change, it means you have to work. But let me tell you something. I realized a long time ago, to become wealthy, you don't have to bust your butt to become wealthy. Work hard that way. You work hard mentally by doing the affirmations. That's working the hard. You can work hard physically all you want to, and that's not going to bring you wealth. I know a lot of people that work hard, long, hard hours, and they are not wealthy. They ended up either working hard, maybe on the floor as a nurse, and then they got older, and then their knees were bothering them, or their legs were bothering them, or they have foot sprouts or something. But they are not anywhere near wealthy. And they worked hard. So if hard work would make you wealthy, I truly believe 50% on this earth, 50% of the people should be wealthy. You understand what I'm saying? Because they worked hard. That has nothing to do with it. When you're working hard to get to be wealthy, it's more of a mental work. Why? Because you're doing the affirmations. And you have to constantly be disciplined enough to do the affirmation. So discipline is a really big part of your success. Some people will start doing something and then they'll stop after 2 or 3 days. I'm actually guilty of that. I used to be guilty of that. Like I would start something and I wouldn't finish it. You know what I mean? But then I realized, okay, you're not going to get anything done unless you complete it. So then I learned that at a young age and went on and, start completing things. But if you want to change your life, it's like you could sit down there and listen to me all day. But if you don't put this stuff into action, you will never change your life. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Patricia Show. Have a lovely week.